Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming to the March 7th Needham Council for Arts and Culture meeting. We are meeting remotely as the executive order of March 12th, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth, due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus, which is very shortly going to be revoked. Hooray. But just in order to run this meeting virtually, please be aware that ensuring, some of the ground rules for effective and clear conduct of our business is remember to mute your phone or computer, remember to speak clearly, and then anything recorded on your screen and in your background, it will be posted to posterity on YouTube. And I think that's probably good enough. Hi, everyone. I'm so glad to see all of your faces. Dennis, Julia, your logos are amazing. Glad you're all here. Elizabeth's out in Mexico. I think we need to do a roll call anyways. So Elizabeth Cook is in Mexico. Julia Gould, I see your name. I'm guessing.
I'm here. I'm just eating dinner, so I'll be on camera in a minute.
Okay, I really now want to see what you're eating, but Bala Venkat.
Hello.
Hi, Bala. We've got Corrine Rhodes
Here.
Hi, Corrine. Did you get a haircut?
I did.
Ooh, very nice. Joni Shackett.
I'm here.
Joan. Wendy Siegel? Segal. Why do I always get that wrong? Siegel, right? It's like Siegel Production Company, right? You're muted, so say, just give me like a wave.
Sorry. It's Seagull. Seagull.
Just think
like
of
the
the
bird.
bird.
Yeah.
Corrine
Thanks,
rhymes
Heather.
with green, I was also told, so I can remember these things. Okay, Heather Simmons.
Here.
Also, her email says Simonoza. Is that what?
Simonza.
Simonza. Okay, that's your stage name.
It's a long story. It's too long for you.
Thank you for keeping it short. Dennis Dang.
I'm here. I'm in the car, so it's kind of dark. So I try to turn my video camera. It doesn't work.
Are you driving, Dennis?
No, I'm not driving.
And I'm going to say Topher Cox next because you're in the loudest environment. I'm going to make you mute your microphone because I think
I'm
that's
sorry.
it's okay.
Let me see.
Okay, awesome. Amy Lamb. I don't see Amy. And Kavita Deodar. Spoke to her this morning, so she should be here soon. And Stephen. Hi, Stephen.
Here.
And Topher Cox, we got. So I think that's everybody. We're just missing 2 people. So glad to have you all here. Heather did an amazing job sending out the minutes. Does anybody want to make a motion to approve the minutes for anybody want to make a motion to approve the minutes as they're written?
I move we accept the minutes as written.
Thank you, Joni. Anybody second it?
I second it.
Thank you for seconding. Topher, does anybody have questions on them? Okay, moving on. Awesome. You probably got to read the Public Art Subcommittee meeting minutes. It was awesome. A bunch of people came, and we'll talk about that later, but I really appreciate how many people came to that meeting. And Corrine, take it away. You want to give us a little treasury report? Or
Sure. So we had 28 grant approvals, and we've already processed 11 of them, 8 being out of the town funds for $4,850 and 3 being out of the state funds for $1,435. So we hope to get a few more towns processed shortly and use up that $8,300.
You think we're on track to do that?
I do.
All right.
I do.
Everybody keep their fingers crossed.
Yes.
We're on track for that. So basically, I think you guys all understand we were granted that $8,300 and it has to be reimbursement based. So the trick is that any grant submitted that has to have happened already to get the town funding. So we're hoping that'll happen all by June 30th. If we get closer to June and some of that money's not spent, we could discuss that. We've had other grant requests come our way that are off our cycle, which we don't usually fund. We want everybody to be within our granting process, but there are options for spending it, I guess. Okay. So the next thing, municipal funding. I can't remember if the finance committee meeting happened and they didn't really have any questions for us. They were more interested in the mural than I think in our $8,300 budget. But that will be in front of town meeting. If anyone is a town meeting member, you could totally pump your hand in the air for us when that topic comes up. Amy, did you have any updates about that, or no other follow-up questions or anything came through?
No further questions came through, and the town budget has been approved by the finance committee. So it's moved forward. So the funding as requested is included in the approved budget from the finance committee. Next hurdle, town meeting. And I don't see any reason why it wouldn't go through.
Is everybody welcome to join town meetings? Or is it just for town meeting members? Is it closed?
No, so residents or interested parties can attend town meeting. They have to sit up in the balcony. But in order to actually speak, you have to get permission if you're not a town meeting member.
Interesting. Okay. Well, we can all exercise our peanut gallery if we want to go up there. Thanks for that. Okay, next order of business is the mural. So we went in front of the design review board on Monday and it passed. Hooray! It was an interesting topic. Stephen had to recuse himself because he's now on the design review board. They mostly were interested in the type of paint we were using, but then they were also questioning sort of what our process is and what their role is in the process of public art. So the bigger questions. So I did mention to them that we're working on that art and culture plan and that they should have a voice in that if they can. So to sort of work out the process for public art in the future. I thought that was a thoughtful question. Then the subcommittee met and we talked about how to do a celebration of this mural going up. Our next hurdle, we finally passed all these, all the big committee approvals, but we still are working with town council to get the contract signed. Sorry. Amy is nodding because she's nudged them a million times. And yes, Amy, what would you like to add to that?
So I actually saw town council in person on Thursday and followed up with him again yesterday. So I am optimistic that we will have this wrapped up by the end of the week.
Oh, that's amazing because the artist is totally on board with doing it April 22nd. So that is the date he's available. It would take 3 to 5 days. So it would be April 22nd would be like the tail end. So what's that like? My math is terrible. So like the 16th to the 22nd, something like that. And then back to the celebration, the subcommittee was talking about doing partnering with the Pansy Festival, which is the festival that's gone on for many years. And I met with the Needham Historical Society and the Wythe Library Foundation, which if I'm getting some looks on that one. Andrew Wythe, a famous painter, N.C. Wythe, his grandfather, we're from Needham. And so there is a place that they lived on South Street. Linda Bean, the L.L. Bean daughter, bought the building and they are turning it into a library. So like an amazing cultural space for town. So last year, the Needham Historical Society sold their pansies, and then Andrew Wythe's granddaughter came and gave lectures about Wythe and his work. And that was the Pansy Festival. So this year, the Pansy Festival will also include the NCAC's mural project and the painting of it. And so we want to do a day on April 22nd. We had 2 date choices, but April 22nd is the only one that works for the artist. So hopefully that works for everyone else. Needham Heights Common is called. So that little grassy area, that's Kitty Corner Park. So we would host a couple events and like some music, a band, preferably a marching band, an art making activity that would be a pansy on a stick, a large scale pansy on a stick, like kind of like tissue paper and a stick. So you're kind of making like a kind of like like an umbrella type of stick wavy thing like we did at Town Fair. And then possibly a project of like a little seed project where you plant pansy seeds in a little seed cup with dirt, and some face painting. So Amy Lamb's working on the art craft. Joni, what's up with the music idea? Oh, and I didn't tell Joni, you want to tell him what the music idea hook is?
We are trying to get in touch with Plugged In and have some of our kids from the town play some music. I've even gotten a list of songs that have flowers in them, and that might be interesting too, because some of them are standard, some of them are whatever. I did get in touch with Needham Garden Center, who will be very happy to donate all that we need, everything we need, pansy seeds and the little pots and potting soil. And I just have to get them an email on NCAC stationery. So I just need to get the logo. I got the phone call back actually yesterday morning, which was good. I just need to get the logo from you to put it on the top of an email, telling them exactly how much we're asking for, you know, how many seed pots, how many seeds, how much potting soil. And
What's a
when I
good
said
number
I
for
had
that?
no idea how
100?
much,
What
how
do you
much
guys think?
potting, I figured 100, you know, 125. And when I said I have no idea how much potting soil, he said they would figure it out there and they would give us the correct amount. He also asked if we were interested in pansy plants. And I said the pansy group sells plants, so we don't want to get involved with competing with them.
Well, maybe we could take a couple for decorations on the tables. I don't know.
Maybe. I
That's awesome. Good
called.
job, Jon.
I called Plugged In. I've left 3 messages for Tom or for Sandra. Haven't heard back. So tonight my son is calling Tom's daughter. They're friends, to get Tom's cell phone so I can text Tom and get this done.
That's awesome.
That sounds great. I just have one.
Joni,
Sorry.
I can also just, I can text Sandra too, because she texts me and
Oh, okay.
She
So
seems like maybe that's more her style for communicating. I don't know. If you want me to try to,
well,
or you
that's
can,
fine.
or you can text her.
No,
If you have her number.
you can text Sandra because you have a relationship with her. My relationship is more with Tom over the years because he was the one who worked on the musical, but also the one who was driving Liz around to my house to play with my son when they were little. So, but it's fine. Whoever can get to whomever at this point to have them get back to us, it's a little disconcerting that
Awesome.
a business doesn't return 3 phone calls, but that's
So
okay.
you guys will connect about that.
We'll
and then
connect, we'll do it together.
Heather, you want to update about the face painting part?
About the face painting?
Well, that was.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, just what I was telling you, or it's not a lot, just that I was thinking we could just streamline it and the kids I can help get a crew together to face paint and can streamline it and just have it be painting pansies on their faces, like go all out.
So we got some teenagers to paint pansies, and then the hook of the music is to have a parade. So it'd be like a pansy
yeah.
parade is like the concept. And so we don't want to like crowd him painting on the sidewalk. So the idea would be to meet in Needham Heights Common, fingers crossed if we get approval to go there, and have like at like a certain hour, like a little parade down on the other side of the crosswalk to watch him paint, and then come back to the main part, which would be the picnic tables at the Needham Heights Commons.
Right.
Bala, I saw you had a question. What's up?
Yeah, is the April 22nd date set in stone? My only concern is that's the end of the school vacation week. So if we're expecting a lot of audience, I don't know.
Well, so we went through every Saturday in April, and the first weekend is when the Needham Historical Society is doing it, and it's also Easter and Passover, so we thought that was out. And then the 14th was the beginning of the break. And so I
Right.
thought like that would be more people going away. The 22nd is the end of the break, and then
Right.
29th, the artist couldn't do. So our preference was the 29th, but the artist couldn't do
Okay.
it. So that was the only one left. And April is significant because it's the pansy month in
Right,
Needham,
right.
and
No, that
people
makes
wanted to
sense.
do-
Okay, just,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
But
it's,
it's not the best either.
it's definitely not ideal. It's not, weather-wise.
mhm.
Well, and that's one thing, like the artist can't paint if it's raining, so
Right.
Yeah,
stinks, but so we'll have to kind of work on the fly. But we would share marketing with the historical society and the wife, and do like some like a co thing, like these are all the events that are happening in the month of April. So that was
Can we run this on the 23rd as a rain date?
yeah, I think that would be a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we shoot for the 22nd, 23rd as a rain date. Yeah, and maybe we could put that in the marketing.
Yeah.
The only thing we'd have to make sure that the artist, I mean, I guess it could be a rain date if that would be the finished product and we'd go see it.
Right.
In the event of a catastrophic failure, but I think he's planning to be almost done on the 22nd would be the idea. Any more questions? Is anybody see a part that they want to be a part of and they didn't feel like they got to be? I'm hoping everyone can try to save the date. What did we talk about? 3 o'clock? 1 o'clock? I forget now. Earlier for families, I remember the conversation. Anybody remember 1 o'clock?
I don't remember.
Okay, 1 o'clock
Did
works
we,
for you all?
I thought we said 11 o'clock.
Maybe we
at
might
one
have said
point.
11 because we were trying to get families in there.
Right.
Corinne, you're nodding. 11. Yeah, I think it was 11.
I think we said 11 to 1 or something like that.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
11 to 1. We talked about maybe getting like some food vendors, but then we're like, I don't know. It felt like enough, but we could.
Edible flowers.
Okay, any other
Yeah,
questions?
You can eat pans, you can eat
Yeah.
violets. They're related, right?
We'll just, we could get the community farm to just bring some weeds over from the farm, the edible weeds. Okay, so the next thing is the Multicultural Festival, and that is Bala's baby. She has been working hard on that. I went to a meeting recently, and how many tables are there, Bala? 25? So
Yep.
it's March 19th.
Yep. Mhm.
25 tables. Do you want to give, I don't know if everybody knows about it. You want to give them a little spiel?
Yeah, so this was, I know throughout Needham we've been doing multicultural festivals in schools. So now we wanted to do something townwide. So a couple of us got together with the human rights team and the diversity initiative group. And so this is going to happen March 19th from 1:15 or 1:30. I have to look at the time, through 5 p.m. We reached out to the broader community asking to sign up to represent their culture or country. And now we have around 24 tables, which is awesome. So that's pretty much, it'll take the entire town hall space at Powers Hall. I think it's going to be a nice sort of like a walkthrough of the different tables. They're going to have like a trifold, talk about the culture and regions representing. There's going to be some food samples. We didn't want to do an elaborate food, like we do in the schools. Like, of course, we were thinking of doing like a table with all the foods, but then that gets complicated. So just small portions at each table, and then some activities if they want to do that at the tables. And there's going to be some performances throughout the event. So yeah, it's going to be a fun one. And I know we have a table for our
Yeah, so we have a table.
Yeah,
that's
so it's
awesome.
going to be exciting.
So it's Sunday, March 19th from 1 to 5. And so we have a table that we're sharing with Metropolitan Area Planning Council. So the point of our table is to really get that the survey and the arts and culture plan talked about, launched for that. So Kavita has already volunteered to work the table with us. Wendy volunteered to work the table. And then I'll email you guys. If anybody else would like to work the table, wave at me, or maybe I'll just send a message to everyone if that works. Okay. And you can sign up for a slot if you want. It's like maybe 90 minutes. If a lot of us want to do it, we can make them just an hour or something. And it's basically, there's going to be like an art activity that MAPC does, and they'll have some candy, and they might have the survey finished to hand out. Amy, not if you think the survey is going to be done by then. That was the point, right?
Yeah, Very well should be.
Yeah, I think so. Getting people to fill out the survey. I don't know if they're gonna fill it out there or just sharing that we're doing a survey and they can go home and fill it out. We have like a one pager about NCAC. We have a banner. I have a prodigious amount of small slimes if we want to give those out. We could bring them along. So that's, yeah, just kind of a fun, get our name out there and promote the arts and cultural plan.
Charlie, is our table by the wall or are you in the
It's
middle?
right by the stage, the front.
Okay, perfect. So then you
Yeah.
have space for, yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
hopefully. It was funny because they're like, how many of the passports should we print to hand out to people? And they're like 200, but I feel like there's gonna be a lot more than 200 people because they've been promoting it really well.
Yeah.
They might have to tell them like, get up to 400. Heather, what's up?
How hard is it to do with the QR code for the passports and and also the survey that you want to hand out? Like, could they just scan it and then it would bring them somewhere where they can fill it out on their phone?
Yeah,
So you
that's a
don't-
great idea. Yeah,
Well,
yeah. I
Yes.
think either a scan or maybe a QR code or a website, or I don't know if they're thinking.
Yeah,
about
you can
that.
just use a website for QR codes,
then
especially
maybe
if
they'll
you
just.
don't necessarily need to track anything. Like you don't, like if we don't want to track how many people scanned it, we just want it to be an easier way for people to get to the website. We
Yeah,
can create that. super
MAPC does a lot of surveys and they just submitted a draft of the survey to us that the working group is going to kind of beta test before then. And it's pretty comprehensive, I thought. So I'm sure they do a lot of them, but we can recommend a QR code or something like that for people. Okay, so I will send out a request for anybody who wants to volunteer. Anybody have any further questions about that? It'll be fun. Bala, are you performing? What time are you performing? Promote yourself?
Yes, I wasn't planning to perform, but I was trying to get a couple of groups, but the scheduling didn't work out. So now I'm gonna have to perform with my friends. So
Kavina's daughter has a performance already that she did at our multicultural festival.
Oh, nice.
if you need to fill in, right?
yeah, cool. Yeah, I'll talk to Kavita.
That's awesome.
But yeah, ours is at 2:15.
Cool. Okay, moving on, the big last event we wanted to chat about, Elizabeth reminded me. So Elizabeth lives at North Hill, so she kind of represents North Hill, which is it's a living center for 50 plus. I don't know what the right term is for that.
It is a very cool space. I liked all the art displays there. It's really nice.
So we've had our reception there, our artist reception that we yearly have. And that is usually in May or June. It's an invitation to all the grantees. Actually, all the years of grantees. And so we've usually had a showing about like 25 people. We come in and have a little wine and cheese, and usually there's a presenter. So it's just, we didn't have it during COVID, so we had a newsletter instead. And last year we went back to the reception. It was just like a nice way to actually meet people in person. So we need to schedule that again. And I thought if you guys didn't have a problem, North Hill was an awesome venue and they provided all the food and it's really nice. We had it on the calendar for May 23rd, but last year we did June 6th. I think because we wanted to stay away from the holiday. Does anybody have any feelings about the difference between May 23rd and June 6th? Or any ideas? Does anyone want to take the lead on this? It's literally, and all you have to do is email Linda to schedule it. They do all the food, and I think and organize the speaker. But this year, I think the speaker, we talked to MAPC about coming because this would be a good place to also talk about the art and culture plan. And last year, I felt like we did a better job of like everybody talking together and not relying on a super long. One year we had a speaker that went on for like an hour and a half and it was too much. I think people want to chat a little bit more. So last year it seemed like it was a good mix. So I would love if someone wanted to just be the communication person with North Hill. And this is literally the easiest event. If anyone wants to volunteer, you can cut your blood and just sign the document here and you're forever in charge of the artist reception. I'm kidding. I don't
do
see
it.
anyone
I'll help
jumping.
you.
Joni, you want to do that one?
Yeah, I'll help you, sure.
That's the super easiest one. Does anyone have comments or ideas or changes from last year? We got a really cute group photo from it.
It's
this
on a
similar, like
Thursday,
a
it's on a
council meeting?
Thursday night.
We usually did it on a Tuesday night, just as like, we have it on the calendar for May 23rd. Hopefully you guys all have your meetings in your calendar, so you already have that date saved. It works fine on a Tuesday. So yeah, and that was our meeting for the month, so instead of our monthly meeting, it seemed to work fine to me. I don't really exactly remember why we pushed it to June, maybe because of the holiday, but if anybody doesn't care, I'd say we May 23rd.
Isn't the 23rd Memorial Day weekend this year?
Well, that might be what happened last year.
I think that was the problem last year.
But we usually have it during the week. As Charlie said, it's usually in lieu of our Tuesday meetings. It's a Thursday.
No, the 23rd it should be a Tuesday.
Yeah, the 23rd is a
okay.
Tuesday.
And
Oh,
then-
it is?
Yeah, and then I think is Monday, the 29th is more Memorial Day, so it's the
Right, okay.
week before, so, which is probably better than the June 6th, I don't know. So if nobody has a problem, I would say we shoot for May 23rd. I'll send you that info, Joni. Are you guys okay with MAPC as being the presenter to just share the work they've done with our council and with our grantee? I think it's pretty easy, and that's it. Name tags, we show up, we chat, have a glass of wine. It's from 7 to 8. We flyer it and share it with, anybody's welcome to come, but for some reason only grantees come. It's
Oh,
open to
yeah.
like any Needham person.
I'm actually traveling that week, so I'm out that week. But
I could just like video you
Oh.
in.
Okay.
Space around with it.
Cool.
Yeah, that's the artist reception. Thanks, Joni. And then the only other thing
Welcome.
we have to chat about is, I wanted to give an advocacy update. The Governor Healy and Lieutenant Governor Driscoll just submitted their budget for the entire state budget. But the important part was that Mass Cultural Council is slated for $25 million, which is an 11% increase over last year. So that means 11% more for us. This is, obviously going in the right direction for arts and culture. If you've never heard of Mass Creative, they're the advocacy group for Massachusetts for arts and culture. That it's like a smart bunch of people that work really hard on advocating for arts and culture. They're working on a bunch of different bills right now. So if you are not part of the Mass Creative website newsletter, just definitely go to their website and register. They have lots of ways for you to like reach out to your legislator and say thank you for the increase. It's like basically one of those tools where you just put in your address. The other thing they're working on right now is the concept is to have each person in Massachusetts would be worth $5 in arts and culture, and right now it's like $3, and so their advocacy is to push funding in that. $5 is an amazing goal. So for over the next few years to get arts and culture funding up to 5%. Just a lot of really great information. I totally recommend it. And read about the 3 or 4 other bills they're working on that are fascinating. Okay, that's that. And the only other things we have coming up is elections. I talked to Bala. She's going to be super busy the next few months. So we're going to look for another co-chair, and all you smart smiling faces. We'd love to train you in the next few months as I roll to ex officio, and we have lots of amazing people here to help train. It's a group effort, but I do want to make sure that everybody has jobs so no one person feels overwhelmed with it. But we have an awesome team. Obviously, there are so many of us, and we're winning the committee. And we actually have a couple of people who have reached out that want to join, and the town has been like, sorry, there's no more room at the inn, so they have to, there's a wait list. So that's exciting. Anybody else? Any comments on that? So elections are in June, and that's for chair, co-chair, vice chair, which was the new one we made up. You don't need to have that one. Treasurer and secretary. So think about that. And when I send an email, I'll send a link to, we do have like responsibilities, because Bala was like, oh, what do you have to do as chair? And I was like, I don't know. So I made a document to help. Julia made an amazing secretary document that she's passed on to Heather, and Heather references it all the time because she's been the best secretary that we've ever had, besides Julia.
Yeah, wait.
Irene-
Julia never forgot to put an attachment in an email like I did today, so
Well,
I think
was
she
the
wins on that
secretary
one.
before her, and I actually didn't get a meeting posted in time, so that we had to cancel the meeting. So I won that one. So you can't, as long as you get our meetings posted, you're good to go. And Corinne's just making it up as she goes, but she's amazing treasurer. We are so thankful for her dealing with all of this. The work she's doing behind the scenes is an insane amount of paperwork, and she's really entertained by the Needham Arts and Culture Gmail email account that she's doing a great job finding things in. Okay, that's it. The only other things I was gonna say is that we have to come up with our schedule for next year. And our next meeting is April 25th. And it's via Zoom. Does anybody have a feeling that they want to get back to in person by then? Amy, is that something we have to do by April, or that's going to be extended, right?
So right now, we're waiting for a final word from the state. It looks like it's going to be extended actually for 2 years until April 1 of 2025, but it's not a done deal as of yet. But we're very hopeful that we'll get word before it expires on April 1st.
Okay.
So at this point, let's make the assumption that remote meetings are going to continue.
Okay. Well, I think we're doing great with remote meetings. I don't know if anybody is dying to be back in person, but I like the balance. So definitely if we're remote in April, we'll have our reception in May, and we'll get to see each other and socialize and see below the neck. Thank you, guys. Does anybody have any questions before we go? All right. 7:35. We did it.
Wow.
Yeah. See you on March 19th, and I'll send the follow-up to volunteer. Take care.
Awesome.
Thanks, Charlie.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Charlie.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.